Alrighty, folks, welcome back to the Astro-Nots podcast. Today we're going to talk about Eden Crafters, and with me is CaptnBarbosa, of course, and Callie.
It's me.
Our science officer is joining us again.
Astro-Nots, a space-bound team, navigating galaxies from our PC screens, exploring new worlds and cosmic sights. Join our crew and enjoy the flight.
I love the role play that our friendship has, guys. Like, I'm usually captain, True, your engineer, Callie, science officer, and we just act like this is friends. It's natural.
Well, it only works until it doesn't.
I'm not acting. This is
Neither am I.
Yeah, I was gonna say. I was like, I don't
really
think
am a
I'm
captain.
acting. I don't think I'm acting, though. I'm probably the worst real engineer in the world, but I'm a really good video game engineer.
We're amazing in video games as an engineer.
Tier.
and humble.
Wait, I didn't call myself amazing. Well, okay, I did say I was really good. All right, I'm kind of good. How's
I
that?
agree. You play stationeers. I mean, it takes a certain type of
You
personality.
guys have to get into that with me.
Eventually, but we got Eden Crafters right now.
We do. So we're
So
back on
let's get
topic.
this conversation going. So, how'd we find this game? Because I think I stumbled upon it at the same time probably you did, True.
Well, because they came out with the demo, so we were probably like, "Hey, what's
right.
this?" It looked like Planet Crafters, right? Because we were heavy into Planet Crafters, and we probably saw the more like this
Yes.
when the demo dropped. And the demo wasn't really a demo; they called it a prologue, but it was really just a demo.
It kind of was a prologue because it's still in the game. Like, you could do that same exact thing in the game if you wanted to, that we did in the prologue.
It's actually the harder difficulty.
Really? The water world?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, probably
Because the
that
water's
way-
supposed to damage your base,
Right.
but in the demo/prologue, it didn't. Also,
it tickled me.
off mic before we started recording this, the boys here were discussing who indeed found the game, and all we have are the chat records, which prove that at the very least, CaptnBarbosa was the first one to send the link about it.
Oh.
Hey, look at that.
You know
Hey,
what?
No,
No,
Putting
hold
it
on.
right on the record.
All right, well, here we go. It's probably because I sent it to him in a private chat.
I will accept this evidence.
No, I don't go back that far. All right.
Search the archives.
I plead the
No,
fifth.
so
I
we
plead the
played
fifth.
the Water World. We played the demo, right?
Yeah, so first of all, this is from Osiris Games, which I have never heard of, and that's probably because they only have one other game under their belt, which is Technicity, which shares a lot of the same kind of technology that they use in Eden Crafters. So, and currently on Steam, Eden Crafters, at the time of this recording, is rocking a 91% positive review out of
Very good.
5,300 reviews. So,
That's really good.
Yeah.
Good for them.
That's
And,
good.
and it's still
and
early
it's-
access.
I was just about to say it's still early access. So for
Yeah.
an early access
Yes.
game to have that many reviews and that many good reviews, pretty good, I'd say.
I would agree with that. So we got into the demo, and what were your first thoughts? Because we were coming from Planet Crafters.
Well,
Go ahead.
you, Callie, you're the guest. You go first. Ladies first.
I'm good with guest first. My first thought was, oh, my graphics. What happened to them? Because and it's not necessarily a fair comparison because they are different games. They're different publishers, designers. It's totally different games. But we jumped right from Planet Crafters into Eden Crafters, and my first thought was like, what happened to my graphics? Because Planet Crafters has a lot of color. It's bright. It's still desolate at the beginning, but there's like a lot of saturation in the game, so it still feels bright. And Eden Crafters, by comparison, is just like, whoa. I don't want to say dull, but dull color-wise.
Right, and I get that.
Dull
So
graphically.
I think the difference being is with Planet Crafters, you feel like you're on an alien planet. And in
Yeah.
Eden Crafters, you feel like you're on a planet, but it just feels like Earth.
Desolate. Like
Yeah, very
dusty.
desolate.
Right.
Like it's just dusty.
Now, with
But
that
I
being
don't mean that in a
said,
bad
right,
way.
with that being said, there's some other tech involved in Eden Crafters that Planet Crafters doesn't have, like terraforming, changing the terrain, and that kind of thing. And you couldn't do that necessarily in Planet Crafters.
Absolutely. Like I said, it was just my very first impression was holy, like the graphical whiplash is crazy.
If I
Uh,
may, I'm going to put in like my thing about the graphics was, I got used to games with lighting, and everything seemed very flat in Eden Crafters. But once you get over that, I mean, like everything serves its purpose. The buildings seem purposeful. The I guess refineries, all the little buildings and gizmos and stuff that you could make, they're all good. I mean, even the warehouse, I like seeing it. It's just it's flat and it's early access. We're talking about this at the end of January in 2025. Maybe something happens.
true, true. Yeah, you can always just update the graphic files if that's what the developers have in mind.
Yeah.
And you're right. In no way now, like once you got over it, like it, I don't even notice it anymore because we haven't played Planet Crafters for a little bit now, and
Yeah.
now it's already like re-registered in my mind as just this is just normal now. So
Yeah.
yeah, it's absolutely
Exactly.
good.
Yeah.
What a Go ahead.
So I initially, when I saw the building and everything like went up instantly, which is okay. You got used to that in Planet Crafters, and then I just the feeling with the little gun and how quick everything like it to me. I was like, oh god, it's another one of those, you know. But I thought it was going to be a cheap Planet Crafters, but then we got the automation,
You
and
love
it was
automation.
it was in my happy place.
Yes. Yeah, I thought it was cool because again, I haven't played a lot of automation games. You have, and then I started understanding. I'm like, okay, here's a node. This is going to essentially be like an infinite node of iron, and then what we want to do is kind of build out a workflow so that we get all these iron pieces. And then it's cool because then you get all those pieces, and it almost establishes like your iron age, and then you want to get your new resources, and all the resources that you get then kind of give you like the ability to fly the ship, build vehicles, and now you're on your way, kind of getting around the planet and getting those cooler resources and adding to the gameplay.
Yeah.
It's a decent loop.
Yeah. Now, I can tell you with my experience with games like Factorio and Satisfactory that and it is early access, that they do need to work on their progression timing. Like it feels like some parts are really quick and then other parts are really slow, and it really should have a more consistent pace to it.
Yeah, like if you're not paying attention, like the buildings that you could make, they pop up pretty quick. Like, what's all
Right.
this?
Yeah. And I almost feel like there should be a different way of unlocking them. So I do know like some of the unlocks happen when you just build certain buildings. It's like, oh, hey, I built a storage container. Now all of a sudden I know how to build a warehouse. And like I wish that was all tucked into like research of some type instead of just free form unlocks. And some of it is. They do have that research. And so it might all be shifted around at some point in time, but there does need to be some balance and timing work. And like another thing, like I feel like we just unlocked rovers in our playthrough, and I'm like, okay, that's great, but we have a spaceship. Why are we going to use the rover?
We only
Yeah.
have one spaceship.
This is true,
We haven't seen if we could build
but
another
I
spaceship.
do feel like cars should come before flight, just
Yeah.
in normal progression, right? So, because you should start out right in your little area, right? And we don't have oxygen, and we'll run out of food if we get too far away from our safe spot. Then we're in trouble, right? But we can't get far. We can get farther and farther away as we progress. But once you unlock that spaceship, you can fly to the other side of the world, right? And it's kind of like, okay, so if you have the car is limited on battery usage, so it would expand how far you can get, right? And then you find new resources and unlock new things, and then you get the spaceship. I think that would be a better progression chain, personally.
Well,
But
Maybe.
I'm going to speak for the devs and say I think the spaceship right now is an early access tool. It's the first thing you have, and you're put on the planet with no air. At least you could sit in the spaceship real quick, and it's got a trunk with some starting items in it. I honestly, if I were them though, I would put like one of those air boxes first, like just one. Here's your base, and now build another one in the tutorial, and then get rid of the spaceship.
I don't know. I think the spaceship makes a lot of sense because you're basically, it's how you got there, but it just ran out of juice, and I like that aspect. And then it's left up to you. What are you going to do now, and how are you going to terraform this planet to create the new Eden, the new world that we're going to live on? And I like that aspect to it. And there are things they could do, like the batteries that you put in the spaceship are the same batteries you put in the car. And it's 10 minutes of travel time in the spaceship and 10 minutes of travel time in the car. And it's kind of like, okay, well, why not those batteries in the car last 10 minutes, but in the spaceship it lasts a minute, right? Because it takes a lot, right? It takes a lot more power to power the spacecraft, and you unlock that later.
Yeah, I'm with it.
Yeah, I could do with that. I do like having access to the spaceship because, like, for example, some of the tier 2 metals, like gold out there, well, we only had access to gold because we flew for it. I don't know if we would have been able to. I don't even think we would have been able to unlock the rover without the gold. I think it was.
But it wasn't too far of a walk down the coastline to where we found some more gold. Like we went the hard way and went into like the hot zone.
Yeah.
I guess that is true. Actually, we did do that. We maybe shouldn't have done that. But I don't know. Just we did use it like to help us progress.
Right. So I love the automation, and I do. I mean, even what they have now is really fun, and I just love building the production chains. And that is only one aspect of the game. So there is elements of exploration because you got to seek out and survey the area and find these resources. There are there's the automation and the mining and the construction and all that stuff, and the base building. Love that stuff. And then there's the terraforming,
which our science officer has been taking the lead on. What do you think about it so far, Callie?
I almost feel like I haven't done enough of it to say, because most of what I do right now, in the planet that we're playing, is I set up the water purifiers and then I walk away and let them purify, because everything needs all the water pumps that connect to the lakes. They gotta pull up pure water, I think, anyway. I actually haven't tested it. I would assume that it needs to be pure water. So it's like I have to put the water purification down, then build my water pump, then pump that water to one of the area fertilizers, or the other one, the area fertilizers, the second tier. And then I have to manage power and stuff, and that's where I just completely lose it. I just throw up a windmill and I just walk away, and Trusin later gets mad that there's like a windmill somewhere, or all my stuff is using too much power. Oh, you guys should hear him. He gets so mad. No, I'm just kidding.
So the power in this game works in an interesting way. It's distance based, but they're automatically connected when you put the buildings down. So it has pros and cons. I personally like wiring things up. And having power grids, but I can appreciate the simplicity of just nearby power sources.
Yeah. So for right now, I've really only terraformed very minor parts of the coast.
You did a great job. It's cozy.
Thank you. I don't feel like I did yet. I intend to do more, but it's already having an impact. Like the hot zone that we spawned next to. If you walk into that zone, immediately your suit shuts down. It goes, it's too hot here, and you start taking damage. Well, I put up a couple of fertilizers, purified a little bit of water, and I can already walk into that zone. Not all the way, but I can now walk in without getting hurt. It says it's warm, but
I did notice that the time of day matters. So if it's the middle of the day, it's gonna hurt you, and if it's evening and nighttime, you're safe.
I have no recollection. I know I've seen the day-night cycle. I have no recollection of when I walked into the hot zone or not. I'll have to test it out next time we play.
Yeah, science.
But it does feel like what I'm doing is already having a measurable impact because I see that temperature go from 50 to 46, and now it's not hurting me. All in Celsius, by the way. The only.
In degrees Canadian.
We're either accepting Celsius or Kelvin in this podcast and nothing else.
So another thing with this game is that we've already kind of talked about is the vehicles. And in this one, though, they seem to have a multitude of purposes. There's different vehicles for different things. And that's something that Planet Crafters didn't have. And they added vehicles in one of their more recent updates. But to me, the vehicle doesn't really feel all that worth it. There's just not much utility out of it that you don't get from just using your own jetpack and jetting around. Cap, how's your feeling on the vehicles here?
All right, well, that is something that we keep comparing to Planet Crafters, and we mean well. Eden Crafters is a separate game, but I do love the vehicles in this game because I like kind of being the courier for you guys, like where we had distant gold and distant basalt, and we had like distant sulfur nodes and stuff. I had a great time kind of being the courier for that. The controls, I already put something on the post for the ship. It feels good. They just got to tweak the controls. There's some weird overlapping with slowing down and descending, and I can't customize the controls, but it's fun to fly. It's fun to drive, too.
You're good at it.
The driving feels good. The flying, I think I have worked out that it is because S is slow down and descend. Those need to be separated.
Exactly.
It should be the same as the drone. S slows down, shift descends.
Yeah.
Just do that.
Once I figure that out, I mean, they have very fun elements. I would almost love to see, like, weather affect maybe one base, because I think that would be really worth it if, like, you wanted to fly over to one base because the weather's going to get bad and you know you have to do something over there before the weather gets bad. So you fly over there and you got to do something or save some resources before they get trashed and then bring them back somewhere else. That could be very fun elements, because there is one thing, like, these games are a little cozy when it comes to terraforming and gathering resources, and I do like an element of danger, which, you know, the water world had the big wave. But, you know, I like having those elements of danger that you have to deal with. And if the vehicles is like the answer to doing more gameplay, getting around those dangers, I'm here for it. I'm having a lot of fun with the vehicles.
We are on kind of easy mode. There is a hardcore mode that does, and when you select it, it does say your buildings take more damage from environmental impacts. And so that might be part of what we're missing out on. And then 2, we're on the first planet, so it's probably the easiest planet. And there are hot zones and cold zones and super hot zones and radiated zones. So there are environmental hazards. But yeah, I think storms, like, I don't think we've seen a storm, though. You did fly. Remember when we flew through the sky and all of a sudden it got, like, our visibility went to 0?
Yeah. It was like snow, and I'm like, can someone tell me what direction I'm going? And, like, you guys had to use the map and tell me how to get out, because I was flying all of you guys. It was very cool. I liked it.
It's a good team building exercise.
But I agree with you. Yeah. I think having a rainstorm come by every now and then, and like maybe it, or periods of low wind, so it messes with your windmills.
Yeah.
Well, maybe that comes as we terraform. You know, like right now there isn't even water on the planet. I'm purifying the water, so maybe once the water gets purified and we got some trees, we might get some rainfall and storms. Like
You're right.
Maybe we just haven't got there yet.
Well, I'm thoroughly enjoying this game, and I think them having a bunch of different planets is smart, because to me that adds great amounts of replayability, and the planets all offer different hazards, and they've even got an outlook on future planets. They're already in the game. You can't select them yet, but they're like saying coming Q3.
Yeah. And you know, that's what made, again, we keep comparing to Planet Crafters, but there's something about starting with a new set of obstacles, like, you know, breathing. There was no breathing barely on one of those planets. Like in the water planet, you had to do stuff before the big wave showed up, I like the challenge because like you're essentially trying to do the same thing with a different set of obstacles, and that's what makes it fun. And like you have to adapt. So, bravo to Eden Crafters. I feel like there's so much potential still to yet unlock in this game.
Yeah, I'm excited to see where they take it.
I actually want to play it right now.
Yeah,
so
me too.
if
There
that's
you
not a
have
good
it.
review, I don't know what is.
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to unlocking more stuff. Well, we've got the material analyzer, and we've unlocked, I think it's 3 out of 8. So I'm as the science officer, I'm itching to unlock the rest. I want to go find the stuff, figure out where it is. Probably in biomes we can't access yet, but that's fine. So like, I want to go make progression for that.
All right. So, final thoughts?
Yeah, well, I want to say something to the devs. I think we all should chime in and like let the devs know that we're enjoying the game. But like, what is your like wish list for this game, or like one thing that you want them to make sure they pay attention to and they add?
Ooh.
Yeah, I'm putting you on the spot. Like, I'll go first while you guys think about it. But I do hope there is dynamic lighting because right now the lighting is very flat. And I do like, when it's nighttime and you see the instruments of your base and like there's even like a lighting tower and stuff. Like I like when that actually works. Like put me in pitch dark.
It does
I'm
work.
happy.
It does work, but it's barely noticeable. And I did notice if you lower your brightness a little, you notice it slightly more. But then your
Okay.
interiors seem darker. So it it is
Yeah,
there, but they need to adjust it. They need to adjust it for sure. And I looked up to try to find out what engine they built this game in. I can't find it. So it may be custom, which might be why they don't have, the lighting in quite yet.
Gotcha.
Got you.
Callie, any thoughts?
No, because I find myself this won't surprise you guys at all. I find myself fairly adaptable to the current situation. So, if the grass is all that I get, the little flowers that comes up, if the grass and the flowers is it, then I will just become accustomed to that. I want to respect the devs' game plan, their own roadmap for their own game, because it's a work of art. I don't
Yeah.
want to necessarily say, oh, hey, you should, add a unicorn over here. I'm willing to just experience it how they want to experience it, but I do want to say I love the night sky because it's beautiful.
Yeah.
And so I love walking out at night and doing absolutely no work while the boys do work. And I just look up, and this is probably why the terraformation hasn't happened very much, because I just like go and I just like appreciate what the sky looks like.
I'm going to build you a dock so you could sit out on the dock and
Over my toxic lake.
I hope that they focus more on, or not focus more on. This is all right. My hope is something that this is like a pet peeve of mine. So like there's a kitchen module and a bed module, and it's great, but they serve no purpose other than just aesthetic looks, which is fine in its own right. Like having aesthetic things in there are fine. But if you have a kitchen module and you have a game where you're supposed to eat and cook food, well, right now we cook food on the same crafting bench that we make iron ingots on. And it seems strange to me. It seems strange to me. Like, no, the food should be on the kitchen. Like, let that be a thing. And then too, like, we have to eat to restore our health. And that's fine too, out in the field, and I think that's good. But let the beds be a quick way to, like, if you're at base and you go click on the bed, your health comes back. Like, that way, so you save on some resources and some time and stuff like that. And it's because you're at base, relaxing and resting. But, I like it when things have a purpose. And I'm noticing there are several things there that kind of feel like it's cool that they're there, but they're not really associated with anything.
Yeah, well, to help you out, like, for instance, there's a stamina drain. Like, you have a battery in your suit, and maybe when you're tired, the battery drains faster. And that's the way it'll tell you to rest because you're using way more energy when you're tired. I would love to see the food at the kitchen as well, or maybe you can make it so that way your hunger goes down slower the more kitchen elements you build.
Oh yeah, well yeah, you could have like you could have the more, I don't know, the more yeah. I see what
Lots
you're saying.
of pans in the kitchen.
I don't know. You have a fully loaded out kitchen, and your hunger goes down slower. Yeah, that's cool.
Exactly. Yeah, so
You could even like have a little kitchen automator. You know, if you've got those the plant growers, if you could just hook them up to the kitchen, and the kitchen just fills up the fridge with food. Like that seems thematically appropriate.
Right. Well, you already
and
can
great.
do that. You can send the plant material into a warehouse, and then you
But it's
have
not in the kitchen.
unlimited ability to. Yeah, it would be cool to hook up the greenhouse to like a kitchen module and just boom, boom, boom. Yeah, for sure.
And you can't take them out of the warehouse unless you're standing next to the warehouse. Or a mile from the warehouse and you can see it.
Right.
yeah.
So
I do know it's early access, but I do feel like Popeye just getting all this spinach in these cans. Like that's what I feel like. I'm just popping cans of spinach.
I don't even know what we're eating. I mean,
like seaweed, plant matter sort of stuff. Hey, maybe when I keep terraforming this planet, we'll unlock some more food or something. I don't know. We got no idea. We're pretty early into the game. There's a whole
You
load
don't
of
know.
possibilities that could be going on further down the line. So
Yeah.
we should go play and see what's out there for us.
All right, folks. Well, Eden Crafters, it's on Steam by Osiris Games, came out October 16th in 2024. They've got a big roadmap. They got a full year. We're looking forward to whatever else comes during this year, and I'm happy with it. So
yeah,
we'll
me
see you
too.
out there.
Yeah, I'm glad we're back too. We haven't done this thing since before Christmas, and we're back. Should be doing these weekly again.
Yeah, like and subscribe if you like our content. Thank you. I know you hate doing that, so
I do. Thank you. All right, everybody. Thanks for being here.
Bye.
Mike, can you play that kick-ass music? Thanks.
Astro-Nots, a space-bound team, navigating galaxies from our PC screens, exploring new worlds and cosmic sights. Join our crew and enjoy the flight.
All right, let's get going. We're talking about Eden Crafters. Eden Planet Crafters.
Oh my god. Okay, hold on. Can we put a
And Eden
little
Terraforming Crafters.
Satisfactory Eden Planet Terraforming Crafters.
Oh my god. Can
Star.
we put an agenda out here so we can focus?
Oh, an agenda? Okay, that's probably a good idea.
Like a loose one. A loose one.
We only do that when you're here, but that makes
I
a lot of
know.
sense.
I like it. Okay,
Listen, I know, and I want it for me.
let's see. How do we find the game? How do we find this game? Question mark.
Trusin, probably.
Yep.
Are we
It
introducing?
was the demo. We had a free demo, okay?
Yeah, but Trusin probably
Free
found that demo.
demo
Yep.
Water World. No, it was me.
No, it was me.
We'll fight over that.